guys, and welcome to this week's video. This week I decided to humanize the new Gen 8 Pokemon. I am so excited for Sword and Shield to come out. I actually cannot wait. I really love these designs as well as all these other Pokemon, and since I've been in a bit of an art funk lately, I thought I'd go to one of my all-time favorite exercises, and that is humanizing things that aren't meant to be human. I really love this challenge. Well, it's not really a challenge, it's basically an exercise in character design. You're taking something that already exists and reimagining it in a fun design. And I really wanted to create these Pokemon trainers that kind of look like their Pokemon. So you know their old saying that the pets always look like the human? I thought this would be a fun way and a fun challenge to do that. I tried to bring art across some personality in the character designs as if you would come across them in a trainer battle, and what they would really reflect their Pokemon being. So the media that I am using in this piece, I am using mixed media paper, the Canson range. I'm also using my Winsor & Newton Pro markers, my Prismacolors, my Polychromos, and I'll be using a little bit of my Pentel white gel pen. For the full list of equipment, as always, it is listed down below. So if you ever miss anything, please just check it out down there. I tend to outline in pencil, and then so I'll tend to use like a graphite pencil, and then I'll go over my lines with a coloured pencil to create this really soft feeling. Coloured fine liners can be good, but I find that sometimes like pencil crayons can create this really soft illustration, and I think this would really help with this design that I'm going for. I'm not quite going for the same feel that the original Pokemon games have, but I'm kind of echoing that in the illustration that I'll be doing. So I'll be going into why I chose each of these designs and what I was trying to do to reflect it. But first of all, I want to know, which Pokemon starter are you going to be choosing for Gen 8? I actually really don't know which one to choose. I'm kind of in love with them all. I have a soft spot for grass type Pokemon, so I might end up going up with Grookey. But Sobble's really cute, and I really like Scorbunny, even though I'm not a massive fan of the name. I really cannot wait for this game to come out, since it seems to be set in England, my home, my life. I'm kind of excited to see what this game is. I just really love the Pokemon series. So the first one I'm going to be doing is this really cute Pokemon called Grookey. Now Grookey is it seems to be a monkey based Pokemon, and when I think of like grass types, I think of earth tones, because they tend to all have the very similar color palette with these very earth tones and some bright colors mixed in with really cute features. I think grass types might be one of my favorite, but I will admit the last two games I have chosen the water types just because I prefer the designs over the grass types in them. So when I was thinking of designing the trainer, I was thinking of earth tones, and very much similar to how I would think of Marie. I wanted the green hair to represent like the top part, and I really wanted this idea of like the bun with the chopsticks sticking through. I wanted to give her yellow glasses, a big jumper. I was trying to reflect like not a nerdy type character, but almost like a bookish, quiet type character, and that's the kind of feeling I get when I see this sort of character. That's what the design exudes to me for some reason. I don't know, if you were able to design these Pokemon, what kind of features would you go for? What kind of interesting things would you apply? When I think of Pokemon, I try and reflect their personality if I'm ever going to humanize them. I find some of the Pokemon quite difficult to draw, but I try and implement some of my own style and design for it. For the execution of this design, what I feel that could have been done better is I feel that I should have given her more action. She's in a very static pose. It's a very generic pose that I've gone for here, whereas the other two character designs have a lot more life in them. I think that this one is static posing a little bit too much, so I really feel that I should have added a little bit more life into there. So after I've gone down with my Pro markers, I build up my texture layers with my Polychromos and Prismacolors to add like a general like shading effect and this, that and the other. I think this design is super cute, and I don't know, maybe I'll choose Grookey as my Pokemon, maybe, I don't know, I haven't decided yet, we'll see. And overall, I really do enjoy the execution of this design. There are points, like I said, that I would improve on. But now we're going on to Scorbunny. Now, Scorbunny, when I picture this character, I picture a very athletic type character. And you'll notice, yet again, I try and keep the colour scheme of the original character design within the actual character themselves. I can imagine that this would be the sporty anime girl type. She's really happy, really spunky, and I try to make that read across in her character design. I feel that this is a much more successful interpretation of the design than the Grookey one with Scorbunny. I think it's overall because I knew what I wanted with this design straight away, whereas with Grookey I was umming and ahhing. With Scorbunny I knew straight away what I was envisioning. I was envisioning a sporty type character, and that's all I could see. This design is really cute. I'm not a huge fan of the name, I must admit, and I don't normally go for fire types, but it's going to depend on this evolution to which Pokemon I go for. I tend to look at the evolution chain with a Pokemon before I decide which one I'm going to go for. Like I said, I tend to stick for grass types, but last game and the previous game, I ended up choosing a non-grass type because I preferred the overall design. Last game, I fell in love with Popplio and just I couldn't. So yet again, going back to those colours, keep on going back over the overall design. I didn't want everything to clash too much, so I'm trying to keep the ratio of skin to clothing quite minimal, so that she's a very athletic type. You'll notice as well that all these character designs have bags, because when you're traveling around the world with your Pokemon, why would you not have a bag? It just would not make sense. So I can imagine that she would, this Scorbunny character, that she would carry very minimal items with her, so that's why she has a cute little fanny pack on her, or a bum bag, or whatever you call it these days. Used to be called a fanny pack, remember that. And that's why Grookey has the backpack and Sobble has the side satchel. I'm trying to think of like practical reasons as to why these characters would be walking around and what they would be doing. And I just think that certain characters would be more prepared than others. She's the athletic type. She runs into things. She wants to fight straight away. She doesn't think before she does things. You'll notice as well, as I'm building up these layers, I'm not keeping my whites white. And this is simply because when you're looking at a white object, it doesn't necessarily just have white tones. So I build up a little bit of grey, a little bit of blue, a little bit of yellow. Yellow obviously calling back to the fact that this is a fire type Pokemon. Blue to enhance and grey to enhance those shadows a little bit more. And this is just a technique that you end up using overall. Now the last design, Sobble. I will admit this is probably the design I struggled with the most. I knew I wanted to have a very dramatic character, a character that maybe you accidentally bumped into and they're like, you must pay for this, I'm going to battle you. That's the kind of idea that I have, that you bump into this character and then you've got to battle them because you've upset them. I can see that Sobble would be a very anxiety-based character, and I try to bring that across in the character design, and I don't think that this one was necessarily successful. I really like the posing in this, I love the hair and the face features, but the overall design is kind of boring. I could have done so much more with this and I just didn't. But you know, it's a exercise in character design. You don't know if something's not going to work until you actually try it. And if you are going to try this idea, I probably suggest trying out some some ideas before you settle on one. Even if you have a perfect idea straight away, it's always good to explore different revenues, to try out different things, to really enhance your abilities and understand what works and what doesn't work. The main problem that I had with this character design, which the other ones I didn't suffer with as much, is that there's a lot of blue, and I tried to balance that out with the yellow and give different shades of blue, but I don't quite have the right blues for this Pokemon. I have the light blue down. It was the slightly darker blue on the skin tone that I don't quite have the color correctly for, so it looks a little bit odd, and I really had to build up with my pencils afterwards to really enhance shading and show the difference, just because there was so much blue, it was blending in. In the future, if I was to do this character design again, I'd probably give the character like a really cute flowy skirt with some tights and maybe like some cute little boots to go with it. I really like the hairstyle, so I'd probably keep the hairstyle, and I like the idea of like a denim jacket as well, just because, I don't know, it just screams a denim jacket to me. I don't know why. I think it's really interesting to see how different people would interpret this, and this is a form, I'm going to pronounce this word horribly, it is known as gijinka, Gijinka. It's a very popular way that people like to humanize things that aren't meant to be humanized. You'll see it quite often on websites and on social medias where people will take a current design and redesign it. It's a really good exercise in practicing illustration and practicing character design, taking something that already exists and redesigning it. I've been in this sort of mood to try loads of different things lately, and I haven't done humanized versions of Pokemon in a long time, not since I did my Evolutions print from quite a while ago. I just love this sort of idea of taking something that isn't human and making it human. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think of my overall 3 designs? Like, what would you do if you were humanizing these characters? How would you approach it? And what kind of things do you think about when you see these 3 Pokemon? I really enjoyed this and thought it was a hecking lot of fun to do. And if you guys have done this before, you know, tag me in on Instagram or Twitter, or leave links on the YouTube video down below. I'm interested in seeing what your interpretations of these characters are. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you're new, maybe subscribe to my channel. We post every single Thursday. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Maybe like, comment, but as always, folks, stay creative.